Hey everyone, it's Chris from The Smarter Collector, and today I am very excited to give you a walkthrough of our new Google Sheet template. This is the Deal Funding and Consignment Tracker. If you've ever purchased a card and known that you have enough cards to sell to pay for it, but you aren't quite sure which cards to sell or which platform to sell them on, this template will help you out immensely. It will provide you with the flexibility you need to swap cards in and out and really optimize which consignor is best for your cards. So without further ado, let's hop in and check out the template. So to start off, you're going to want to find the template at thesmartercollector.com. And then when you log in, you'll see that this is view only. To have a fully editable version, you want to go up to File and hit Make a Copy. You can name it whatever you want. I'm just going to keep the copy of Deal Funding and Consignment template for now, and we can get started. So right at the top, you'll see some instructions if you need to refer back how to use this workbook in the future. But essentially what we're trying to do is we're trying to figure out what cards and what consignors that we need to sell, what cards we would like to sell and which consignors we should sell them with as we're funding our deal. So your first step is to enter your deal amount here. For this example, I'm going to say we agreed to a deal for a $2,000 card. There's also a space to update your cash contributed. We'll say we put $200 in. So that means we have to find $1,800 in cards that we have to sell in order to fund this deal completely. There's this big indicator here that says, no, we have not identified enough cards yet. So now our next step is to actually populate the cards that we're considering selling. I just have a placeholder in here for now and enter in the expected sales price. So after you've taken some time and you've entered your cards in and you've done your sales research and you've put in a reasonable expected sales amount, your first big decision comes into play. You need to decide whether you're going to sell this privately or you're going to send it to a consignor. Private sales are fairly straightforward. What you would do is just click the drop down here, hit private sale, and where it says consignor, you can say NA, private sale. You would get 100% payout if you're selling privately through a Facebook group or Instagram or to another collector. And then your payment method for private sales over here will determine the transaction fee you pay. So if we select PayPal Friends and Family, there's no transaction fee. If we select PayPal Goods and Service, there is a transaction fee. And we've built this workbook in a way that all of that information will automatically update for you based on your selection. But you may notice that for card 1, we've selected all this information, but there's no updates to this running total over here or the expected sales summary up top. So what's going on with that? Well, in column B, you'll see this include or exclude card box. If we check this box, everything updates. If we sell for $25 through PayPal Goods and Service, we will receive $24.25. We'll revisit this include or exclude card in a couple minutes. So now we move on to card number 2, and we will say that let's say for cards 2 through 10, we're going to pick a consignor. So we can select Consignment, and I'm just going to drag this down and copy the formula by hitting Control-D. You can also drag this down once it's highlighted if you would prefer. And then we're going to select a consignor. So I'll go with the Wharf Sports Cards and drag that down as well. The first thing you'll notice here is that your percentage payout changes based on your expected sales price. That's because over on tab 2, we have built a rate card with the latest and greatest rates from your favorite consignors, both on eBay and a couple of the auction houses that would automatically update in here. It gives you the flexibility to see, hey, do I want to use the Wharf sports cards for this particular card? Maybe PC sports cards, or maybe I want to send it to Golden. You can play around with that over here. Whenever you select consignor, you don't actually need to pick a payment method. You can hit the drop down and hit not applicable because it's a consignment. So now we have a bunch of cards over here. We have some estimate of the cash that we're going to receive after fees. And now we have to figure out, okay, do I want to sell cards 1, 3, and 5? And how close does that get me? Or should I go 1, 4, 6, and 8? And if I do that, how much additional cash am I going to have to contribute in order to fund this deal? So the easiest way to do this is to scroll over to the include or exclude card column and hit space. That will check the box off for you, and it will automatically update your deal funding progress summary and your expected sales summary. So you can model in real time the impacts of the decisions that you're making. So we've selected a bunch, and look at that. We have funded our deal and we have identified an excess of $644. So our work here is done. We can even zero out the cash contributed and still have a pretty healthy margin if we weren't going to realize the full sales prices that we've entered over here. Another feature of the workbook that I want to call out is this find the consignor with the lowest fees. So you'll notice that for each card over here, we've entered our expected sales price in, and columns N through U will automatically calculate your expected cash receipt from each consignor based on their rate card. We've also gone ahead and said, hey, based on the expected sales price that you've entered, the best consignor to consign with based solely on fee optimization is the following. And you'll see like the lower value cards are typically best sent to alt liquid auctions because they have a very favorable payout structure for low dollar cards right now. The one disclaimer I'll put out there though is this workbook does not consider additional sales premiums that you may be able to get at different auction houses. Let's take Golden, for example. They have a very big marketing budget on super high-end cards. If you sent a card to Golden, you might be able to get 20 or 30% more of an expected sales price than you could at other consignors. This workbook does not consider that element at all. It's upon you to do your due diligence and figure out what is the best consignor for you from a holistic perspective. We've built this template out to help you optimize based on fees and give you a great jumping off point to funding your deal, sort of eyes wide open, what you're going to expect to receive and which cards you're going to need to sell to get there. The other thing I'll call out on this tab is it's very easy to expand. So if you had more than 20 cards that you wanted to consider selling, all you would need to do is add additional rows. So I've highlighted rows 47 to 53. You just need to right click, insert rows, and then once again, you can highlight the bottom row and simply click and drag the formulas down and everything will update. You can put the names of the new cards in and then select how you're considering selling them as well. Over on the second tab, this is your rate card or your source information that powers the automatic fee calculation on the first tab. We have some additional information in here on how we calculated the effective seller's rate on platforms that only charged buyer's premium and did not charge any seller's rate. So we encourage you to read through there if you have any more questions. So that's pretty much it. That is the deal funding and consignment template from the Smarter Collector. If you enjoy this template, make sure to let us know in the comments below. Check out the site, thesmartercollector.com. Give us a follow at thesmartercollector. And stay tuned for more templates, daily collector tips, and weekly collector guides to make you a smarter and more informed collector. Thanks, everyone.